I went from Island Def Jam, which is under Universal Music Group. I had a direct deposit in my bank account. I have a 401k, I have stock options, health benefits, and then I go out on my own with my own money, having to basically eat what I kill, no safety net, and that's a big risk. When you are an entrepreneur, you have to take big risks. That's how you make big money.
I'm beyond thrilled to be welcoming in on the One More Time podcast legendary singer, songwriter, actress. It's Demi Lovato.
Let's go, Demi.
Hi, everybody.
Hi. Demi. No. All seriousness, we have Dina Marto, a legend in the game.
Dina.
Just to like pop your shit a little bit, I mean, handpicked by Reid to work at Def Jam, executive assistant to the late, great Shakir Stewart. We got a part of T.I.'s management team, founder of 12 Music and Studios, C&D Agency most recently. I mean, business partners with Rick Ross.
I have.
At one point.
Yeah.
I mean, the list goes on and on. You are a true entrepreneur and a true just boss in this shit. I feel like no matter the chapter, no matter the company, like you've just been doing Dina this whole time.
Well, I appreciate that introduction, and I appreciate your research and writing down these points. And thanks for having me. I know it took a little while to get me over here.
Couple little tries.
But we are finally here, and I'm excited about this.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, you might have been the hardest guest, to coordinate.
No.
I could think of three right off the bat.
Right.
So that were harder.
I mean, I think coordinating with Drake's team has been a little easier than with you. I mean, to be honest.
This is going to be one of your best interviews, I will tell you.
Worth the wait.
I have no doubt in my mind.
Absolutely.
So, there was a blog article from 2017. So it's a little bit dated, but I think it was a cool article. It was for the A3C Music Festival here in Atlanta. And, it was called Letter to a Young Entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And so you basically picked like 10 tips or 10 pieces of advice, 10 concepts that you would have wrote to, a young entrepreneur, either to yourself as a younger lady or to anyone out there who's thinking about starting a company or thinking about embarking on their own entrepreneurial, journey. So I thought it would be cool to just kind of walk through those 10 and have you kind of comment on your experience, your perspective, and how your story, like how you arrived at these 10, right? Because they're really good pieces of advice.
I love it, and I'm glad you have them because I don't remember any of them.
Oh yeah, I got them.
This
Dina.
is perfect.
I got them. You're Dina Marto. We have to have these.
We have to know.
We have to know these things. All right. So the number one tip was find your passion and create your vision. Okay. So obviously you've worked in music. So but specifically, what are you passionate about when it comes to working in music? Because everyone has their own different reasons for why they get in the industry.
Sure. It's simple. My passion is music. I love music from the core. It is it's my soul. So I always wanted to be in music because I understand how music heals people, how it's the universal language, how it teaches, how it's a voice for the voiceless people, how it really started, especially in hip hop, with being the 50th of hip hop now, how it started as a movement. And so my passion is, in fact, my love for music. That is the only reason I spent this time and energy in this business for 20 years.
Because it'll make your hair turn gray real quick.
The business of it is not as fun as listening to the music, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's hardcore.
I miss just listening to the music and not,
not even judging,
critiquing
it, not thinking, where am I going to put this? How am I going to sell that? None of that. Just the love of it. And so what I live for, one of my favorite things is when I hear a song for the first time that I'm in love with. And then I play it over and over again, repeatedly for that whole day, all day long, until I get tired of it, which I don't, because then when you hear it again, you just fall in love with it again. That's my true love.
I had that today.
Yes.
How excited did I come in the studio
Didn't even say hi to me.
No.
We went to the computer and went to Spotify.
I turned off his music.
Which I was vibing to.
He was pissed, but I was so excited to show him this new record. It's by an artist called Quail P, and I think it's called Love What You Got or something like that.
I have to check that out.
Yeah. So I had lunch with his manager today, Sam Lancaster, who also manages Young Pinch and Guap Dad 4000 and some other dope acts, Party Alone. And he showed me this guy, and I just like fell in love with it. And it was that same thing. I probably listened to it 7 times on the way out here, because you know how long it is to get out to the studio.
Yeah, so guys, very, very far. If you ever want to get over here, just put aside like 3 hours of your time.
Don't discourage people, Dina.
Book a whole day.
No, but it's that feeling. It's that magic of hearing it and it touching your spirit.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I love.
I also think that if you don't absolutely love what you do, there's someone in your industry that does.
Yes.
And I think they're going to outwork you 10 times out of 10,
Period.
right? So,
because it's not even going to feel like work. When I first started in this, I was like, oh shit, like I can get paid to do all these things that I was just doing because I wanted to be in it so badly. I didn't realize that it was like a job. Because I just wanted to be in music. So I was like, any means necessary, I'm going to figure this thing out.
Yeah. We literally just had this conversation about podcasting and interviewing people in music and just all the dope shit that we've been able to do.
Yeah.
We're starting to finally, like, 2 years in, try and build a real business around this and monetize. But I told him, I was like, bro, I would do this shit for free. Like, swear to God. Like,
don't tell him that. Don't tell him that.
Don't tell him that.
I'd actually do it for whatever we're going to charge you for all the services.
We need that.
But no, I just,
yes.
it really does feel that way where if you really do love something, obviously we all have bills to pay. We all have families, et cetera, loved ones. But like at the end of the day, you better be like in it for the right reasons, because there's plenty of people in this shit that I've met. You can just smell it on them that they just are not here for the right reasons. If
they're here for fame or money, it's like, get out. Like it's just not what you're here for. I like to deal with people in this business that I know truly love music, and they study it. They read the credits on albums back in the day. They wanted to know who produced what, who wrote on what. Like, they studied it, and that's what I did as a little girl.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely true. So the create your vision part of it. So like getting into it though, like, did you have a vision for what your career path and journey was going to look like? And if so, like, how did that look back in the day? And then how close did we get to
we're a little far off. Yeah, we're a little off. It changes. And so what's the thing about a vision is you want to have one. I think it develops and changes as you go along. I didn't know that back then. My vision was, when I first started, and I think a lot of people are like this in the business, is I wanted to be a singer-songwriter. So I wanted to start as an artist, like on the creative side. Clearly very far away from that objective. But once I got in and I started moving, I realized I was really good at the business side, and then I never looked back at the creative side. But I still was able to be in what I loved because I'm still dealing with the music. It's just that I don't have to be the actual singer or the artist on the stage.
Do you still have like a debut album under a pseudonym on SoundCloud? I have songs that you'll never hear that I've recorded, and I was a pretty good songwriter, I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Somebody hacked Dina's hard drive.
I know.
We need
they were
those
back
leaks.
on like tapes and stuff. Like, you guys are too young.
We won't find that.
Shit. She just dated herself.
I know.
But okay, so a lot of our audience is independent artists and kind of like aspiring music industry creatives, and then also like managers, A&Rs, etc. But like for an artist, you've worked alongside incredible A&Rs and music executives, and you yourself obviously founded your own company where hella records were made.
Yeah.
What does a vision look like for an artist though?
I think they need to know what they want to bring to the world. Like, what is their music going to say? What is their foundation? What makes them different and unique from the other artists? And then it'll change and move as you create and things evolve. But I think it's mainly like knowing what your end goal is. Are you just here? Do you want to be a touring artist for the rest of your life? Stick with that understanding when you're making the music and you're doing the business.
Yeah. Yeah, because I feel like a lot of, A&Rs and managers, et cetera, like they only want to work with artists that have vision.
Yeah.
And I feel like our audience might not understand even like what that means and what they're supposed to be thinking about. Because, also to her point, it's okay for it to change, y'all. Like,
for sure.
Whatever you think the vision is today, as long as you're like trying things and taking steps towards that, it can take turns. A true artist is
gonna develop, and it's gonna change as they go, and they're gonna grow, and it's gonna be better, or it's just gonna take your life kind of dictates how that moves.
Yeah, for sure. But not having that 50-year goal is unacceptable, right? I think that some type of vision.
If you're just here for like a quick hit and you just want to be like super famous real quick, like you can tell through the talent in the music.
Yeah. Have absolutely. Your Island Boys moment and move on.
Right. Oh God.
Are they still around?
I hope not.
They're doing cameos.
They're kissing on OnlyFans for money. So I think they're
really
struggling.
bad. It's so hard to watch.
Oh Lord. Yeah. All right. Number two on the love letter to a young entrepreneur. Don't share your ideas with too many people, especially those you don't trust.
That's an interesting one.
Oh shit. Did something happen to you?
Were you betrayed?
Like what? Where did that one go? Why is that number 2?
I think I said that because oftentimes we second guess ourselves. Like you have the intuition, you have the idea, and then you might share it with somebody who you may think is a friend or a business partner, and then they shoot you down or their own projections of themselves. They like put that on you and their own fear of their own failures or what they think is limiting for themselves. And they put that on you, not as haters, I don't think. Like you could have some haters, that's fine. But I think more so like they're not doing it on purpose. It's just more that they might say a little something that makes you feel discouraged or like, oh, maybe I'm not onto something. Like T.I. always gives this great example of, he's a rubber band man. So he wanted to do like rubber bands and like have that be something he sells. He ended up not doing, he told some people, they're like, it's not a great idea. Ends up not doing it. And Nike comes out with like the rubber band that they sell and make millions of dollars with.
Oh shit.
So it's like those kind of stories that you're like, don't share your most intimate. Have your team of people that are like your accountability team, the team of people that you share ideas with, that are your what do they call it? Your safe space, your close circle. But don't go outside of there and just start talking to people about what you want to do.
Okay, so it makes way more sense now that you've explained it because
we envisioned someone like stealing an idea,
some multi-billion-dollar ideas. Like she thought of Apple computers before Jobs.
Yeah, no. I mean, it's sure. I probably gave out some ideas that I could have done myself. Or I think it's more so it's just how you're like who's around you and how they're either encouraging you or discouraging you.
Yeah.
That's big because but it's a fine line, right? You don't want all yes men around you.
No.
Because you don't want everyone to be like, oh, it's fire idea, dope, whatever, all that.
You want critical thinkers. You want somebody to say, okay, that's a great idea, but how are you going to get there? Or what if we did it like this or tweak it a little bit? But it's not like they're saying, that's stupid, it'll never happen, you sound dumb.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Especially because, this episode is about entrepreneurship.
Yes.
And there's a lot of crazy ideas and a lot of people that thought ideas were crazy that ended up being multi-billion-dollar companies at the end of the day.
I would say every great idea started out sounding crazy.
Probably.
Right?
Probably.
The internet, like that's going to work.
Yeah, right. Such a fad.
People thought MySpace was just a fad and like it wasn't, or Napster. Like, I mean, just think back. Yeah. Like it was like, what? These are ideas that people just, obviously all the ideas that are new are like, what? What are you saying?
Yeah, for sure. All right. Number 3, take calculated and big risks.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you feel has been the biggest risk that you've taken thus far in your career?
Being an entrepreneur itself is a risk, right? Yeah. So I went from Island Def Jam, which is under Universal Music Group, I was there for 6 years. I had a direct deposit in my bank account bi-weekly. It never fails, right? I have a 401k, I have stock options, all of these things in health benefits. And then I go out on my own to build this world, to build my dream with my own money, having to basically eat what I kill, no safety net. And that's a big risk. As people get really comfortable in their spaces and they don't push themselves or challenge themselves. I could have got stuck in that system for a long time. But I was like, you know what? I feel like it's time for me to grow. When you feel too, maybe not, it's not stagnant is the word, but when you feel too like comfortable, that's when it's time to push yourself to the next step. And it's not like do something risky and dumb. It's like make it a calculated risk that when you are an entrepreneur, you have to take big risks. And that's how you make big money.
Yeah, for sure. And so 12 Music and Studios, that was the first venture like post Def Jam?
Post Def Jam. So before I did start a PR firm when I was 19 in college.
Yep.
And I didn't know what the hell I was doing.
Sure.
But what was so great about it then is I just was like, I'm going to learn as I go.
Yeah.
Then I went into a system, got all the knowledge I felt like I could get, the relationships, learning how a machine operates, how a major label works. And then I was like, okay, I think I'm ready now to go back out there.
They taught you everything you were doing wrong.
Yes.
Essentially.
And
maybe reaffirm some things that you were
doing right.
Yeah. But so with 12, the studio specifically, like what prompted you to, leave the label system? I know, rest in peace, Shakir Stewart passes away. So obviously that was who you were like directly supporting over there. So, I mean, it makes sense that you would, try something new at that juncture.
Yeah.
But why the studio? Like, why did you do what you did?
So I actually stayed at Def Jam several years after he passed.
Okay, wow, okay.
A lot of people don't know that. And I was running the Atlanta office, and I'm a builder by nature. So I was like, and I love to deal with creatives. And I wanted to build a space that felt like a home for the creative community in Atlanta. And I wanted to build a space that had like an environment for growth and nurturing talent, because it's a lot more fun to me when I can find something new and help grow it into a big brand than it is for like already dealing with an established artist or brand that has its stuff already going. And so I don't know what made me say, listen, I have never recorded a song, like helped do anything on like, I didn't even touch the computer. I never used the microphone in that studio. I didn't know how to build a studio.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to run a studio. I didn't know.
You're not in Pro Tools.
Like I had to learn the soundproofing, like the quiet rock walls that you have to build, all the stuff. It was such a big learning curve, and it ended up being great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, so where do you start? Like, okay, you decide you're going to go into this, studio business. You don't know anything about it.
Zero.
So you're learning as you go, to your point, right? But the thing gets built, then what? Like, it's not build and they shall come, really. It's like you still got to go get them to come into the studio.
You still got to get them to come, but that's where my relationships kicked in.
Sure.
So I never marketed the studio. It wasn't advertising. It wasn't open to the public. Never open to the public. The only way I got people in that studio was from my already established relationships. So when I first opened, I had 4 rooms, and my big A room was taken by Polo de Don.
Shout out Polo.
Who is an old friend of mine, and I said, hey, I'm building a new studio. What do you think? I took him when I was doing the blueprint of it, and he came back, and it's funny, the actual A room was called Blueprint. I named it after major albums.
Okay.
And so he took that room, and then I called Ray Daniels, who had Rock City, and I was like, listen, and they were on the rise at the time. I was like, I want y'all in this space. So he took the Adele room. And then I had KP, who was with Atlantic Records at the time, and he got the Thriller room.
Shout out KP. If y'all haven't listened to the Kawan Prather interview, you're fucking sleeping.
We'll put a link to it right here.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe we're not very good. We usually point to the links and we forget to put the links.
It's top right, man. It's over there.
You do
link.
it.
I will.
Anyways, who took the other rooms?
The last room was Purple Rain.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh,
I know.
Nice one.
My favorite room.
Yes.
And I left
So it was your favorite room there,
that
actually?
That was my favorite room.
Why?
I don't know. It was the vibe in there. It was the name. I don't know. It was just my room.
Yeah.
And I left that open for my talent that I signed to develop in there.
And so you did, okay, so...
And I left that room open for other people to book time and record. But those people were only people that I knew.
Wow.
Or were referred by people that I knew. So it wasn't like a regular studio, let's say like a Tree Sound or a Patchworks, where you can call up and say, hey, I need some studio time, and they book it. It was like, if you didn't know me or anybody else in that studio...
You weren't getting in.
You couldn't get in.
I'm curious how, with a system like that, you're wanting to build a community of creatives. You want to support the people that you know. You have a room specifically for artists that, are under you. How does that what are the difficulties with also trying to run a business and, make some money out of it at the end of the day? Did you find
Oh, yeah.
What was the
that
business?
had to be hard.
What was the business model, I think, is his question.
The business model was it not just being a studio. I think if I had just built a studio to build a studio, it wouldn't be so great. It was more about, how do I operate a studio, but also nurture talent, and then these hits are what's going to fund how this operates.
So from like what, publishing, points?
Management, record deals, publishing deals. It was me taking the writers, producers, and artists that I thought were talented and giving them a space to grow and be great, and then taking those hits, and that was what kind of was funding, not just the booking of the rooms.
Right.
That is one source of income, but I feel like what made my studio special, because like, listen, I didn't have the greatest equipment. It wasn't the best rooms. They weren't the biggest place. It was that there was this vibe. It was this family environment that people came and they were able to collaborate with people. I made it to where you had to collaborate. And not only did I have those 4 rooms, I had 6 offices in the front where I rented out each office to different executives. So Empire Distribution's first location in Atlanta was at my studio. Ghazi booked that room.
Wow.
And then Rick Ross and I did a deal to be the MMG headquarters. And then who else did I have? Ray had an office there. KP had an office there. Vince Phillips, the big time attorney, had an office there.
So they're all running around in the same building.
We're all in the same building. How do you not collaborate in an environment like that?
Great.
You just ignore them at the coffee pot, like the water cooler. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here. Man, are you are you taking notes right now?
I got chills.
No, because we've just talked about wanting to do. It's just awesome to have stumbled across you, because we have always dreamed of and wanted to kind of create something similar.
Yeah.
Right. Where, we don't want to just be in the studio business where we're just,
how many hours can we book?
Slinging hours and getting the cheapest engineers and, just booking it out as much as we can, because that's what you have to do. We want it to be more special. We want it to be more community driven. We want it to be, a safe space for the people that we trust. Right. So it sounds like there were hits being made though. Don't fucking get it twisted. So what was the biggest song, or what your favorite song?
Pour
maybe?
It Up, Rock City, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Tehran and Rihanna. And then you had Polo produced Anaconda for Nicki Minaj.
Ooh,
and then there was a young kid that worked with what was his name? For Roddy Ricch, the big hit for The Box.
The Box.
The Box.
Yes.
Come on.
Who's the producer for that? He's going to kill me that I don't remember the name of the producer for that.
Henry, get on it.
I should know.
I know.
But yeah,
I know.
keep
We
going.
find that.
Yeah.
So, but here's the thing, and here's why the concept was so crazy. Most studios, the whole point is you want to be secluded in your own space. So when you go to Patchworks, there's an A room and there's a B room. There's a door in between that never gets open. So the A room people who's ever booked in that room is never going to see whoever is booked in the B room.
Yeah.
My concept was completely opposite of that. It was like when you walk down the hall of 12 studios, you're going to see all these people. So if you want to be exclusive and by yourself, this was not the place to be. Mm-hmm. But if you wanted to be around the young new talent and around the established people like a Polo the Don, then this is the place for you to be.
Yeah.
If you want to bump into him, this is where you go.
Yeah. Was it 30 Rock, but from Eardrummers?
30 Rock, thank you. Sorry. So 30 Rock was in there. Yep.
I'm on it.
I was going to say, you're quick.
Cheese Beats did a lot in there.
Yeah.
I mean, we had everybody come through.
Sure.
Pierre Bourne started as an intern there.
Whoa.
Wow.
I know.
Tell us a story about a young Pierre Bourne.
I will tell you the story about young Pierre.
Let's go.
Did he fuck up a coffee order or something?
He definitely fucked some shit up. But so he started as an intern and he became the engineer for Epic Records, who did have a room there for 3 years.
Okay.
And he used to sleep in my studio. He used to sleep on the couch. He didn't have a place to go.
Damn.
And I remember one day bills weren't needing to get paid. We were probably behind on people paying us on some stuff. And I had wrote him a check and I was like, don't cash this check yet because it's not there.
Shit's bouncing, bro.
He went and cashed it anyway.
Oh, Pierre.
Fucked my whole shit up.
Oh, no.
And I had to it was a whole thing, but he learned how to be a great engineer and producer in 12.
Wow.
And he will credit me for that.
That's fire.
And that space.
Wow.
That's fire. And now he's taxing, was it Trippie Redd said
100K,
120K or some shit. Damn, Pierre, you came up, bro.
Yeah.
Sleeping on
Way
12's couch.
But I had everybody in there. Future came through there, Young Thug, Usher. I
saw a caption on one of your posts. I think you'd said like, who all has slept here? Like it was that kind of vibe, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah, because everybody spent the night there. I mean, there were people living there. I'm like, they should have been paying me rent.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
You know, it was literally it was the place to be. It was a very special time. I love that place.
So I'm not gonna lie. You know, you posted something about 12 years in. First of all, how poetic is this?
12 years, 12 studio
years,
12 years.
studios.
Yeah.
You shut the doors to it. I met you, I guess, like a few weeks ago, but essentially I don't know you. Right. And I was like tearing up seriously at that post.
So dramatic.
It just felt like,
was dramatic.
Damn, like this is the end of something really, really special. Why, was it that it wasn't working still at that point, or like kind of why?
Time of it.
Yeah.
Also, like if I was ever going to do a studio again, I would need to own the building. It's just different when you have a landlord and different things like that.
They fuck everything up.
They really do. So
fuck it up for everybody.
It was just time. I was, it is exhausting.
Oh yeah.
It's a 24-hour business. When I tell you, I never had a day off. People were in there Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. You know how creatives are. They don't care what's going on outside. From the morning, I think we really got rolling around 11 a.m. until maybe 4, 5, 6 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah.
That's how the day went. And I needed, at one point I had 10 people on staff, 30 interns at a time, because you need to have so many people there to keep a ship like that rolling.
Yeah.
Wow.
Damn.
4 rooms.
Oh man. All right. So, moving on.
Yeah.
Number 4, fail quickly and learn from your mistakes. What was the biggest L that you took, would you say, in your career thus far?
Whew, what was the biggest L that I took? So many. I would say.
Where do I start, Ben?
Where do I start?
How long do we have on this thing?
I feel like it's never an L if you learn from it. I know that sounds like so cliche, but it's true. It's not a mistake. It's not a failure. It's about failing fast and quickly and forward, so that you don't keep making the same mistake over and over again. And if you do it quickly and you learn what's working, then you can push ahead, because it's never going to go as planned.
Yeah.
You need to be flexible with your plan. You need to know that, like, I have an A plan, but it's most likely not going to go that way. And so how do I move with what's going on? I would say probably bad business partners that weren't aligned with the overall vision. And once I realized that, staying in business with them too long in partnership and not getting out sooner.
Yeah. And so over communicating your goals with them.
Yeah. And just realizing when it's like it's not benefiting and it's not moving forward the way it needs to, because it can drag you back.
And that's tough, because it's like if you've invested any sort of time, money, energy into a business partner, I mean, even when I was doing the management thing, it was like, you've sunk there's a lot of sunk costs involved. And so you're kind of like clinging on to like, should we still do this? Are we the right fit? Are we not? And you almost want to like make it in your head, make you believe that you are, and maybe it's not right, And
sometimes you don't have, when you don't know any better, you don't have an out. So you have to build your partnership agreement with an out when things go wrong. It's like a divorce. Like you're in love right now. You're getting married. You're not thinking about like, I might hate this person. It might not work out. How do we separate? You have to have a way out. You have to have a clause that says like, if we go a different direction, how can this be handled in the proper way where your emotions are not a part of it? Mm-hmm.
Well, we have that in our agreement, right?
Do y'all have an agreement?
No.
Well,
I know.
I'm just joking.
No, but like, we're working on. We've said we're working on it for so long.
The agreement only is necessary when things go wrong. Yeah. Nobody's looking at the agreement when everything's going right.
Yeah.
So should you maybe get it in place when things are going right?
Probably.
I would get it in place at the beginning before you even go start dating the person down that road.
Yeah. We didn't even know what we were doing. We were just, we go to the movies.
Are we dating?
In this analogy, we are.
Damn,
in this analogy.
I don't like this analogy.
I'm not helping raise your kids, though. Sorry about that.
Right.
Yeah. He hasn't offered to babysit one fucking time.
He's busy.
What a shitty uncle.
He's busy producing.
Chopping up content.
Editing.
I got to edit this podcast after this.
I can't watch Oliver. I got to chop up clips. All right. So, number 5 is have a plan with no backup plan. So, I'm assuming the reasoning behind that is that because if you're 1 foot in, 1 foot out,
you got to go all in.
Yeah.
And the backup plan, there's no, like, for me, there was no room to like fail in this.
Yeah.
Like, I put everything into it. So like, if I knew it was going to be this hard, maybe I would have been like, I'll do something else. Right. But once you're in, like, you're rolling, like, it's hard to stop that. Like, it's a snowball.
Yeah, no, it's very
like
true.
You have to like, if it's definitely the 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Cause like, if you're not all the way, your heart and everything that you're doing is all the way, cause you have to sacrifice a lot to just be an entrepreneur and do it. Like, if you're still hanging on to some other stuff, it's not gonna be full force.
Yeah.
Yeah, every decision you make, every step you take, you'll have that in the back of your head. Well, I could always be a dentist. You know, it'll be fine.
Yeah. And so that's like your own self-negative talk.
Yeah. You need to go back to that almost primal instinct of like, I have to make this work.
Exactly.
Are you considering a career in dentistry?
Yeah.
I've been looking into it.
Okay, my sister's a dentist. That's why you know this, and her husband. They're both dentists. Anyways, all right. Number 6. This
It's my backup plan.
This one's big. Yeah, don't have one. Number 5. This one's big. Find a mentor in your same industry who can guide you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So obviously, you know, my mind immediately goes to like, you had one of the greatest mentors in the music business of all time. I mean, or I guess 2 borderline with LA.
I was going to say, which one are you talking about?
LA and Shakir.
Yeah.
For sure.
Right. And so, you know, I don't want to make this a Shakir Stewart and LA Reid, you know, interview, but at the same time, like, I do think it's, you know, powerful for us to spend some time understanding like some of the key lessons learned from those just powerhouse executives, right? Like,
I mean, the Atlanta music business, I mean, we have to give him his credit. The Atlanta music business is here because of LA Reid.
Yeah.
Right.
We are all stemming from that man and his work here.
Shout out LaFace Records.
LaFace.
Exactly.
What would we be without LaFace Records?
We wouldn't be this.
Nothing.
Right. So I was learning from the cream of the crop. Like, there was and I was 21 when he hired me.
Damn.
Wild.
So very young. I think I was the youngest person that wasn't an intern at Def Jam.
Mm-hmm.
What did he see in you, do you think? Or did he tell you? He might have told you.
It's a crazy story. So what happened was I was running my PR firm and I was representing a bunch of talent that he works with. So
How?
Well, because I was just out there. I was doing it.
Of course I should be your PR representative
So
talent.
at the time, like Sleepy Brown, like Rico Wade gave me a shot with the Dungeon Family. And I was representing like DJ Drama, Ryan Cameron, like just all these people. I was Gucci's first publicist.
Wow.
Like all these people, right? And he's like, you know all my people. So we had one meeting, never heard from him again.
Damn.
A year later.
Ghosted your ass.
Ghosted me, for sure. Like never, I was like, okay, that didn't go well. A year later, Shakir calls me, and he had just signed Jeezy at that time. And I was like, oh, I'm about to get Jeezy, as like I'm about to be like the independent, because I was like filling in as the independent publicist when you had publicity at the major record labels, but you needed like the extra hand, right, in the streets. And so he was like, we went out to lunch, and as soon as he sat down, he was like, I didn't call this meeting, LA Reid did. And what people don't know is he's not just good at finding talent, he's good at finding executive talent. And he wants you on our team, and he saw something in you. I think it was just that I was a go-getter and just very intelligent, working hard, and that I was already connected to the people that he's already doing business with.
Right.
And so he gave me that shot. But what was so smart about LA Reid is that he filed that in the back of his head. And he was like, he waited till the opportunity that he found the right position for me to bring me on board. And that took a year.
Yeah.
And then that's it.
And she got to work with young Jizzle, baby.
Jizzle.
Yeah. All right, sorry, we like doing Jeezy ad libs around here.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Chill.
you know, just working alongside those two specifically. I mean, arguably 2 of the greatest ears,
For sure.
in the game ever to exist. And so, you know, from your perspective, you also nurtured and developed talent at 12, and clearly you were around tons of talent being at Def Jam and, you know, alongside those two. Is an ear for talent something that can be developed?
Sure, but I think you have to kind of have a skill at it. It kind of has to be a natural gift a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't think, so people like want to just apply to be an A&R. I'm like, it doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
Like you kind of have to know, a song, like a hit song when you hear it. You have to know what to pick.
The A&Rs that we talked to, they realized at some moment, or someone told them like that they were actually already A&Ring without knowing that was a job title.
Bro, you just know dope shit all the time.
Yeah.
Like,
yes.
Yeah.
This is the job title if you ever were to want to apply for something online.
Exactly. And you it's like a feeling, you know it, it's your intuition. And of course, being around Shakir in LA, I knew how to like, why you would pick the song over the other song. Why would you put this out first, then put this out second? Or what makes this artist somebody you want to sign immediately and this one you have to develop? Or so it helped me to understand more of the business side of it, but I always had an ear. Everybody says that though.
They do.
Yeah.
Everybody says that, but they don't.
So it's a little bit of both. You need to have something, but you can also practice and learn and get better.
You can learn what is business smarts.
Mm-hmm.
So Barry Hefner was on that panel at the Unlock 404 event that, we
Shout
met
out to
at.
Barry.
Yeah, but I think it was there that he made some comment about the fact that there's no more superstar executives ever since like Shakir and L.A. Reid. Mm-hmm. There haven't been really superstar executives in the music business. Do you agree with that?
Very far and few between.
Okay.
Yeah.
For sure. And I think I would take it one step further and say there hasn't, like superstars in general, it's lacking in our business right now.
Yeah.
Because when I came in the game, we were building stars that are going to last for decades. This was like
people we
a
still listen to.
longevity game. These are like real talent legends. Now I feel like I don't know what the hell's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, we got Drizzy, we got Kendrick, and maybe Cole. I don't know. Like, who do we even have right now?
People don't want to work hard. People don't want to tour. People don't want to perform. People don't want to. It's like, I don't know. It's the work ethic and it's like the craft and really like pouring your entire being into it.
For sure.
Yeah.
So number 7, network and build a team.
You have to.
Yes.
Because you can't do everything on your own.
No.
And I'm a perfectionist. If I could clone myself to do the same, like every job, like if I could be the receptionist at the studio, I could be the engineer, I could be the producer, the writer, this thing, I would have cloned myself because I'm like, listen, I'm pretty good at all this shit, right? I'm a perfectionist, but you can't. You have to like know what you're good at doing. And then you have to find people around you to build that team, to delegate the task, and for them to come in and do the things that you're not good at doing. If you don't do that, you're not gonna. You're stifling yourself. Is it stifling? Stifling yourself.
Mm-hmm. Close enough.
Yeah, very close.
Stifle,
Stifle. Whatever.
Fucking grammar. Police.
Don't tell TI.
Yeah, he'd be
scintillating.
mad.
I know.
Expeditiously.
So you're limiting yourself because you can't grow. You can't do it all on your own. You only have so many hours in the day, so you have to do what you're really best at doing.
How hard? Okay, because
it's
you have
very hard.
You have 2 people that I'm looking at right now off camera who are
important.
a part of your team that you work with, that are your partners in crime. And like, how hard is it to relinquish some of that control? And like,
it's hard because of trust, but then you have to be vulnerable and be able to grow it. And then you have to know when it's not working as well.
Yeah.
Because what I didn't like to do was fire people. Mm-hmm. So the person that you're looking at over here on this side, she's great at it.
But
so she would just tell me like, you need to let this person go. You need to do that. And I'd be like, can you go let them go? Like it's hard because when you have a loyalty, but you have to realize that like, not letting them go is basically holding you back. Because they're not in the right position and it's not working. And so it's about really building a proper team with the right people. And it's a trial and error thing. You're not going to figure that out on the first try. You have to try people out and you have to see what works. And then you have to grow those people with you.
Yeah, we've been struggling.
It's so hard, Dina.
We've gone through some editors that we just feel like, maybe that they're not doing it quite as good.
But like we were probably fucked up about that, to be honest.
It was nice to hear Jeremy Key say, he said, if they're doing it at least 80% is good, right? Yeah. Then Like,
he just used the 80-20. I feel like the 80-20 rule is used in every fucking like way possible. So he had used it in a way I'd never heard, but he basically was like, you should hire someone to do a role that you shouldn't necessarily be doing, probably based on like top line revenue generating activities, which is where like big thinking, strategic thinking is where like the owners of a company should be spending their time. If someone can do that like operational day-to-day task as good as you, 80% as good as you or better, then they could be the right fit. But I don't know, man.
It's about training and development, right? Yeah. So the person that's coming in, you have to, it takes a lot of time on the front end, but it works on the back end. So when you take a person, you bring them on board, like the person that's like this side of where you're looking at, they come in like with a certain skill set, and then you have to develop what their role needs to be, and they have to develop those skills. It's a training process. They don't just come in and know everything or know how you like to work or what your vision is or how your plans are. And so it takes time. Like, you can't just throw somebody in the fire and not tell them, like, I like to tell people, like, this is what we're doing and this is why we're doing it. Not just like, do this. Do that. I want them to know that, okay, why are we doing this way? Yeah. Why is this the method?
Yeah, it helps them make little decisions along the way. Yeah, it's just knowing the goal.
I know you like kind of were training a couple, but like we didn't really give it
a fair chance.
We didn't give it a full go, bro.
Yeah, it's hard.
And I wasn't involved at all.
It takes time.
I didn't even meet.
You have to be dedicated to growing the people.
I haven't even met like one of our. I mean, like, bro, you still need to set up that call. First of all, like, let's use this as the like reminder.
Right. And you need to know, like, maybe you should do a little more editing, because I think knowing the job.
I'm prepping
front and back.
I'm doing a lot more right now. I took a break. It sucks. I hate it.
But you need to know the job that you're hiring for.
Sure.
I think I know it now. Okay. All right. Moving on.
Maybe.
Number 8, know your competition and do your research.
Yeah.
What do you think? Just generally speaking, more so, or was there maybe something specific you think you were talking about?
People come in this business and they don't know what came before them, and they don't take the time to see, like, this is how things. This is what music came from. Like, this is how the business grew, and like knowing like the back end of stuff and how things operate. And I just think that it's a disservice to yourself when you don't really research. And then to know your competition in like any business that you're building, like, you got to know, like, who do you want to, like, who are you gunning for? Like, do you want to be great? Well, like, who's that person you're going after?
And that's what but it's a fine line of, Jimmy Iovine has the whole, like, run your race with blinders on, not looking left or right type of shit. So but you have to still be knowing, like, where, like, who you're going. Like, you still know what the number one horse is in the fucking race.
Have to.
Even when you put the blinders on, you still know who you're racing against.
For sure.
That's my, like,
we've heard both sides. It's kind of tough. It's kind of tough,
man. Because I spend more time looking at that and, obsessing over that to a degree. And I feel like is on the other side of the spectrum. He's like, we're just full steam ahead. And I'm like, I love that too. But
you got to know what the landscape looks like.
Yeah. And we do get good ideas from just kind of being open to seeing how other people are doing it. So that is helpful, but we try not to get distracted from it.
Of course. I think y'all are doing it right.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you.
All right. Number 9, remember, you are your brand.
Yeah.
I feel like you like still embody number 9 right now.
Right.
I mean, you have your own website.
Sure.
I mean,
everybody should have their own website.
They don't.
Well, I mean, depending on what they're doing, but yes, because and social media is so key, right? When you post something, like, that is your extension of your brand. So whatever you're posting, you got to think really clearly about every single thing. It's so funny because I feel like people just post shit and I'm like, why are you posting that? It doesn't look good, or it's like you're posting it for the moment. It's not great for the long term. I don't know. I think nobody like puts a gun to your head and says, post this stuff. It's like your decision making on the post. So you have to think about every time you post something, or every time you step out, or every time you speak, what do you want the audience or the people that you're reaching to know? Like, what is that brand that you're portraying? What authentically do you want them to understand about you?
Yeah. No, it's so true. So, for someone like an independent artist, right? Like, what are some things, you obviously have seen talent. You've seen it, done well. You've seen it at the highest level. You've seen it at the, kind of like just starting out level. What are some things from like a brand building perspective do you see maybe, from an independent artist perspective or just, independent producer, up and coming producer, where are some things that they're doing it wrong or like where can they most improve? Is there anything you've noticed that's like a recurring theme? I think what you said about the like posting with intention, I think that's huge because I do agree that like, people just be posting shit. And I agree with you. I'm like, how is that aligning with anything? Like
just craziness.
Yeah. But is there anything else you've kind of noticed or
I think like when you're a creative, you should be constantly creating content, not just the music, everything around that. So I think that artists have to really think that every time they're even walking to do something, going to a show, producing like recording a record, like all of that is content. All of that can be fed to your audience. And so you should be constantly thinking about how to utilize even what you do every single day as content for you.
Yeah. It's funny, man. Like she's not even someone that I thought would have said anything really about. I didn't think content was going to come up. Yeah, every fucking episode, y'all. If you're not going to listen to Dina as well, along with 100 other people we've had on, say that content is king at this point.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you doing?
King.
Oh my gosh.
King.
Like I feel somewhat like a broken record still continuing to talk about it, but like
Gotta keep doing it.
It still doesn't seem like it's getting through sometimes. So I think a big part of your brand obviously is the entrepreneur in you, right? Like you embody that, to your core. I feel like working with someone like T.I., and being a part of his management team right now, I mean, he is like also the definition in my mind of an entrepreneur. I mean, filmmaker now added to the resume. I mean, he's building real business, podcast, comedian, comic, actor, rapper, filmmaker, etc.
The multi-hyphenate superstar legend.
Yeah. So how do you add value to something like that? Or like, what are you bringing to the table or what's your vision for him or alongside him, right? Like, how are we executing against all of that?
Well, he's the visionary in it. So we're here to help him make sure that it's done properly, that it's in his best interest, that all the dots are the T's are being crossed.
Something like that.
Eyes dotted.
Dotted.
Those things. Mm-hmm.
And also, I think the way I show up is sometimes I say like, I'm honest. Like, I don't think that's good. Or maybe we could try this because nobody just wants a bunch of yes people around them. That's not fun either. Yeah. And so you need to have people that you can confide in, that you can trust, that have your best interest at heart and are looking at all the sides that you sometimes when you're only looking at one side.
Do you have involvement in like, are you helping coordinate or like drive and execute against all those different pillars, like the comic side? Like I know he's doing like shows with the Ha Ha Mafia and all of that. And then like with the movie, do you have to like help with any, you know what I mean? Like, are you having to learn about all these different things?
I generally have to help him in all the things that he's doing.
Sure.
I think one of the biggest roles I played was helping him produce and launch expeditiously his podcast.
Yeah.
Which became #1 on Apple Podcasts.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I helped him like book the guest, come up with the themes, come up with the questions, come up with talking points. Like I was a real intricate part of how that went.
So you were on the other side of this shit.
Yes.
Scheduling.
Yeah.
Did it take you 30 tries to schedule his guests?
Sometimes, when you call and you say Tip wants you on, it's not.
It's a lot easier.
It's a little bit easier.
Yeah,
That was like a
But
Henry
also,
and Ben
was
want
that like
you
a
on.
jab?
Also, we recorded. No, we recorded.
It was low key jab.
A little like
it was an elbow.
Damn, Dina, I feel like we've been talking for a little, but like,
we recorded centrally in the city, not.
Jesus Christ,
God.
she won't give it a rest.
I mean, not
We're in
in
Stone Mountain.
Do we need to pay for her gas at this point? I mean, damn, we might.
are-
I think y'all should start
30
sending
minutes.
people like service cars.
Oh my God.
Like
no,
Ubers.
that's actually
Great
that's
idea.
a cool idea.
I know. You're welcome.
From what bank account?
For content, bro.
From the one you're making all the money.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, all the money.
all the money, Dina.
Rolling in it.
They can do like a whole content piece for you in the 1 hour drive it takes to get over here.
How does the
once
time
they
it
get
takes
in.
here keep going up?
So in 2
it started
hours,
off at
you're
30.
getting like all of this stuff.
Ben, move this along. We're getting trashed right now.
God. Yeah, exactly. I'm like, all right, let's end it.
Yeah.
Wait, was that all 10 points?
No. We're about to finish.
We got 10. We got 10.
And there's more still. You're not getting off with just these 10 points.
Okay,
Oh my gosh.
All right, okay.
Jeez.
I forgot. I was like, that was my last point.
No. But number 10, this is the last one.
10.
Always follow your intuition in making decisions.
For sure.
So like, let's just flush that out a bit, right? Like where have you seen something that you just like felt in your core was something that, you know, you needed to do, or maybe you were consulting one of the, you know, business partners that you've had over the years, right? Like anything come to mind with that point specifically in your journey?
So when I made the most major decisions of my life, it had nothing to do with logic or money. It had everything to do with how I felt about it.
Damn.
Yeah.
But
because
like how
your
much
intuition is not going to steer you wrong. So when you feel like there's a red flag there, this person is not, you know, like when you feel that, it's true. Or like when it came to like signing people or like working with talent, I had to kind of go a little bit off of like, how do I feel about this? Like, what do they make me feel like? How do I think this is going to go?
Even if you can't pinpoint it exactly,
Yes.
it's kind of a...
Let me say this. Is there a time where your intuition, though, that you remember was wrong? Because, I mean, I don't know. Intuition's not batting 100%. You know, it's not
1,000.
1,000.
How baseball works.
I'm not a baseball guy. I'm sorry, Henry. But, like, is there something where you're like, damn, you know?
Mostly, like, I feel like you know internally something, and then it plays out later, and you're like, oh, okay. I saw that, but maybe I didn't see that all the way. I don't know if it was anything wrong, because I think then I wouldn't be where I am now. Like all the decisions that were made got me to this point.
True.
So it's hard to say.
Yeah. I try not to live with like any regrets and wonder what ifs, but like that's hard for me. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Like,
because the past is over. Like you can't go backwards.
Yeah.
But the argument is you could maybe learn something from a wrong decision you made. You know?
Yeah.
No, for sure. So you have something on, you know, speaking of your website, I did go to it.
Oh, wow.
You have this quote that basically is, you know, I think it's super simple, but I love it. The magic is in the timing.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like for everyone out there that just thinks that just because they want something to happen right now.
Oh yeah.
It's not how it works.
If I could tell my younger self, don't rush it. Like it's gonna unfold the way it has to unfold. And then sometimes when there's like a rejection to something, it's really your protection. There's so many times that I thought, I should have done this, or I should have got that deal or whatever. And then I realized later, oh no, that didn't turn out great. So it was really like when one thing doesn't work for you, a greater thing is coming.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, bro.
Yeah. I had a piece of content similar to that recently.
We did?
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, I do the content.
We say a lot of shit on this podcast. Anyways, Dina, those were the 10 tips that you gave a young entrepreneur.
That's pretty good.
Those were great.
You still stand by all 10?
I stand by them.
Nice.
I might have
10
tweaked a
toes
little
down?
bit now, further along.
What would be something you'd tweak?
Let me see.
Or add, right?
I would add that for people just trying to figure it out, do what you're naturally good at doing first. Make that your initial thing, because then the money will come.
Yes.
Don't try to figure out something that you don't know how to do. I don't do numbers, so I'm not gonna go be an accountant. That's not for me. But I'm naturally good at communicating with people, relationship development, connections. And so networking, that's what I went off of. That's how I created this.
Yeah, and I think we kind of arrived at that with even, delineating the roles between us within the company, because
you
it was
shouldn't be editing.
No, and I think that what I am good at is obviously I'm typically the one leading the interviews and coordinating the guests and kind of doing some of that type of stuff, where it's not like he couldn't do it.
No.
Just I can edit. I've edited clips. I've posted the clips, but it's not what I am good at naturally, and I don't find it enjoyable in the same way.
You can't wear those orange-red glasses.
He would never pull them off.
No.
He can't.
Dude, that's one thing I don't want to do. But Dina, we have entered a final segment of the podcast.
Is it time?
It's time, Henry.
Is it time?
Is Face ID going to work with these on? Yeah, it did. All right, nice.
Wow.
Dina, this is the rapid fire Rampage.
Oh, wow.
She can't hear that.
I know. I'm doing the sound effects anyway. We established this.
No, we need that.
So it's a 3-part Rampage.
Okay.
I'll explain it as we go along. 3 short parts. And we're going to start with the short answers. Let's just get into it.
Okay.
I love how you say it's a 3-part Rampage as if people know about other quantity part rampages. Oh, it's not a 4-part it's not a
Ben, I will mute your mic
not a
right now.
2-part rampage.
I have the control.
That's funny.
God.
Okay, we're starting off philosophical here. Just get into some high level entrepreneurship thinking. Dina, why did the chicken cross the road?
I mean, to get to the other side.
It's fair, valid. I think that's valid. Yeah, valid. I like that.
My dad literally sent me this joke where it said, "I want to live in a world where we don't question the motive of the chicken when it crosses the road."
Like seriously, like what else is the chicken doing?
I think it's trying to get to the other side.
Why are we so concerned about this goddamn chicken crossing this road?
Let the chicken live.
Dude, I love it. Just trying to get where he's trying to get.
Yeah,
for sure. Okay, moving on. Dina, 3 common mistakes, the most common mistakes you would say that you see up and coming artists making in 2023.
Trying to be richer quicker. Yeah. Let me explain that. Like they want to look like they are already made it so soon. Like let the people see you, gaining the money and earning what you've got and buying the chains and buying the cars. Like just wait it out. Like you don't have to already be popping like right when you get on the scene.
The journey is interesting.
The blow up, bro. No one understands that like
the blow up.
People are invested in that come up and that glow up story. And to your point, it's like we know that you spent every last dollar you have on that outfit.
That Lambo is a rental.
Well, we know that for sure.
Right.
But even the other stuff, yeah.
And then I would say like they don't focus on their performance craft.
Yes. Oh my God.
Like,
thank you.
Like even if you're a rapper, I'm not talking about dancing and singing. I'm talking about how your stage presence, your vocal ability, all of that has to be trained. You don't just get on stage and know exactly how to hold the mic. As a matter of fact, y'all are always holding the mic incorrectly.
Holding this.
Is it side? No, it's sideways. It's the sideways one, right?
No, it's holding the.
That too. And they do it sideways as if that doesn't work that way, right?
Yeah, it's bad.
Okay, number 3. What do we got?
Number 3.
You're 2 for 2 so far.
I'm pretty good.
Those were great.
I would say, not having their business in order.
Yes.
Not knowing anything about it. Like just have a little bit of education on the business side of it.
Yes.
Because you can't be blinded. You can't just be blindly just being an artist.
Absolutely.
Yeah. The amount of people that don't understand even just high level what publishing is
crazy.
Mind blowing.
Where all your money comes from.
Literally.
Do you have your phone on you?
No.
We'll skip that one.
Okay, what was it though?
You might know actually. What are some of the open tabs on your internet browser right now?
Shit. So, Safari.
That's the internet browser.
Oh yeah, that's the internet browser. That's right.
Glad to know she uses Safari. She's not a Chrome girl.
It's an iPhone.
She's not a Chrome girl.
What is an open tab I have on there?
No Firefox.
YouTube. I'm watching different videos about stuff.
Okay.
And then sometimes I'll pull articles that I need to read later. So it's just a bunch of open tabs that like when I get a moment, I just start going in.
For future reference.
Yes.
Okay, fair. Okay. Yeah. I like that. You kind of answered half of this earlier on accident. I'm going to ask it anyway. Send a voice memo to 18-year-old Dina and a voice memo to 80-year-old Dina.
Shit. 8-year-old Dina, I would say.
18. Sorry.
Oh, 18. Okay. Sorry.
She's legal, okay?
She's legal.
I don't know how that's going to matter here, but
8-year-old, like focus on addition.
8-year-old.
Don't be so mean to your parents.
18-year-old Dina, I would say, enjoy the journey.
Yes.
Like be in the present more. Don't worry about what's going to happen next because it's coming. I wish I had enjoyed like those moments that I was going through a lot more, like being present in them, looking back at it. Yeah. Because you're always worried about something else and not like what you're focused on at that moment.
Yep.
You're always worried about the next thing. And so I'm constantly thinking ahead. I wish I was just enjoying more of like the time that I was spending in that moment.
I love that.
How about 80-year-old?
Oh, and also that PR firm is a great idea. Go through with that.
But maybe you should start a studio a little sooner. I don't know.
And then 80-year-old Dina, I would say that you did your best. You helped change lots of people's lives and impacted people and mentored people, and you should be proud of yourself.
And you did the One More Time podcast, so you fucking made it, girl. God damn, 80-year-old Dina.
Holy shit.
You were lit back in the day.
Dina, that sounds crazy.
We're going to be there.
You're only, 60 years away from that.
Right.
Okay, I was going to say, chill.
Calm down.
Let's not.
I was going in the right way.
Let's not actually date her here. Come on.
That was part one.
That's part one. Great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very good.
I like the voice. We should keep the voice memo one.
That's a good one, right?
Yeah, even though it really applied here, I think it could apply a lot more.
And then she was like, I would tell my younger self during the interview. I'm like, damn it.
Yeah, that's
my
fine.
line.
That's fine.
Dina, this part is the this or that. I'm going to give you just two choices. Pick one. Very simple. Starting with hip hop or R&B.
Damn.
I knew this would be hard for you. For some reason.
I have to go hip hop.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hard work or talent.
Hard work.
TikTok or YouTube.
I'm not on TikTok.
YouTube it is.
Yeah.
Ice Spice or Sexy Red.
Can I not pick either?
Yeah, I think that's.
I guess Ice Spice if I had to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ouch.
Fair enough.
I know,
Sorry, ladies.
Sorry.
She doesn't mean it.
It's getting rough out here.
Hey, now. For another day, okay?
Ice Spice.
Ice Spice it is.
Okay.
Beach house or mountain cabin.
Beach house.
Early morning meeting or late night studio session.
Late night.
Pirates or ninjas.
Pirates.
Rock, paper, or scissors.
Rock.
God, I hate you for that, man.
And finally, become a full-time recording artist or leave the music industry.
I guess I'll have to be a recording artist.
Let's go.
She's got pipes.
Let's
I
go.
knew it. I fucking knew it, Henry.
She's already connected. I mean, I feel like that shit would do numbers.
It would.
Regardless.
I mean, I'm a karaoke queen.
She would-
Okay.
She would be a-
This
she would be
is
a-
what I do.
Industry plant for sure. Definition.
she could plant herself at this point.
Yeah, LA, I've got this new record.
Right.
What can you do for me?
Right.
Okay, part two. Yeah, that was good. Part two.
That's good.
Final part is the word association. Dina, I'm going to say one word, and then you just give me the first word right back off the top of your head, maybe two words.
Okay.
You're not judged on your answer. You're only judged on speed.
Judged.
Jeez.
Here we go.
We give you a score at the end.
Got it.
Yeah, there's a Hall of Fame that we've been working on for 2 years.
It's a very hypothetical
Is somebody
Hall of
really,
Fame.
really fast?
I mean,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
There's the range is crazy.
It's
Okay,
pretty-
give it to
it's
me.
pretty
Give it to me.
wild.
I got this. I got this.
Let's go.
Starting with hip hop,
Damn culture.
Disney,
Kids.
betrayal,
Breaking Bad.
tequila.
All I drink. Wait, that wasn't one word.
That's
That's
fine.
work. A phrase will work.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Just blurting
First
it out.
idea
Yeah.
that pops
Yeah.
up.
Fun time. Shot o'clock.
Yes.
Yes.
Love that. Rizz.
Rizz. Like Rizz what?
It's what the kids are saying.
This is so good.
Damn, I'm out of fucking touch.
She did say she doesn't have TikTok.
She's not on TikTok.
No, I do
right.
not have TikTok. I
Yeah.
kind of can't stand TikTok.
This
I'm
is
not gonna lie.
This
Okay.
is so
What
good.
did they say? What? Give me what they're doing with it.
Yo, Henry, Rizz her up.
Someone that has
No, Rizz her up.
Rizz
No,
up? Did
Rizz
you
her
know
up, bro.
this? Damn.
Okay, shut up, man. Someone that has Rizz has game, I guess, essentially. Like, but more in a like.
He's got none since he couldn't even do it for like the exercise here.
Ben. All right. She doesn't know
So
what it means.
basically, me.
Right. There you go.
mean,
Me. That's an acceptable
All right.
answer.
If you
Yeah.
got it, then you've got it.
There you go.
I'm rizzed up.
Okay.
She's got it now.
Shit.
RIZ.
Two Z's.
Probably two.
Double Z's, I think.
Maybe a few.
The Rizzler is a
Triple Z's.
another way to
Rizz
phrase
God.
it. Yeah.
Triple Z's.
Triple is crazy.
Okay.
Now you're taking it to the next level.
I know.
Moving on. Breakfast.
At Barney's?
Cybertruck.
Who?
Crack.
Cocaine?
Butterfly.
Beautiful?
Content.
King?
Lil.
Baby?
12.
Studios?
Let's go.
Come on now. That was pretty fast.
That was impressive.
That was good.
That was impressive.
That was good.
I would put you in the top 25% for sure.
Yeah.
This has been the incredible Dina Marto.
Yes.
Dina.
Hopefully y'all picked up some tips for all of you aspiring entrepreneurs out there in
Yes.
music industry, creatives and executives. As always, please like, comment, and subscribe. Follow us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Until next week, Henry, what are we doing?
Getting out of here.
Pop that shit like one more time. And pop that one more time.